Hey guys, it's Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Doctor Who. Last time on Doctor Who, we had Into the Dalek, where the Doctor saved a soldier from being killed by the Daleks, and in return, this soldier, along with all of her other soldiers, wanted to send the Doctor inside of a damaged Dalek, who had apparently turned good. So the Doctor went and got Clara, who was about to go on a date with this other soldier guy in the modern day, and together, along with a couple other soldiers, they went into the Dalek and tried to figure out what was wrong with it and why it seemed to turn good. And when they seemed to repair the Dalek and everything was good, the Dalek turned back to what it was. However, the Doctor was able to do some wibbly-wobbly stuff in order so that the Dalek would remember how good it was. And it did, however, it also peered into the Doctor's mind and found hatred, which it liked, hatred for the Daleks. And so it became, instead of becoming a good Dalek, it became a Dalek that wanted to exterminate other Daleks. And it did. And then at the end, it was, the Doctor was like, I wanted a good Dalek. And it was like, I am not a good Dalek. You are a good Dalek. And then it left. And then at the end, one of the soldier girls wanted to go with the Doctor. And he was like, nah, you're a soldier. I don't really want to take you. And then Clara went back to Coal Hill, and the soldier guy she was going to go on a date with was like, yo, I kind of figured you might have a thing against soldiers. And she was like, nope, not me. There, that's a perfect recap of last episode, actually. We'll see what... and we also got another glimpse at heaven. Yeah. That was pretty much it. That was pretty much the episode. It was an interesting episode. I really enjoyed it. Got a bit more into the 12th Doctor's character, which was pretty cool. And I'm curious to see where we are going from here. Pretty much the only thing I think can carry over, other than the heaven stuff, obviously, will be Clara's relationship with Danny Pink. Yeah. This is where I say no spoilers in the comments whatsoever. This is also where I say, no, that's it. Yeah. Okay, so let's get right into this episode of Doctor Who. Here we go. Hey guys, just to let you know, I've been having some copyright issues with this episode. And because of that, the reaction cannot be hosted in this YouTube video. Let me actually look at the camera here. The reaction cannot be hosted in this YouTube video. If you want to watch my reaction to this episode, what you got to do is head down in the description or to the pinned comment. There'll be a link there. You click that, and it will take you to my reaction highlight. And yeah, you can go and enjoy that. And when you're done with that, you can pop back up here onto the YouTube video for the discussions. So yeah. That was a good episode. We didn't really get any tie-in to the whole heaven thing, other than the Promised Land. That was pretty much it. So, it wasn't too much. I do really like the parallels between Robin Hood and the Doctor. And it was interesting, watching him interact with Robin Hood. It's honestly like him interacting with his former self. Everything he talks about, being jovial or the banter or the laughing and stuff. Dude, that's what you were, or being a hero. He's like, I'm not a hero. It's like, yeah, you are. You are a hero. You are a hero. You're a hero to the planet of Trenzalore. At the very least, but he's taken new looks at himself, This kind of started to remind him of who he used to be, but it also further emphasizes how different he is now, which I like. He used to be happy, he used to banter, he used to laugh. He's not like that anymore. He's a different man. He's an older man. So, this one was really interesting for our historical episode, which, perhaps we'll have another historical episode this season, but, for our historical episode to take us to Robin Hood, the legend, not really a true historical person. This was interesting. This was definitely interesting. I liked it. We can go ahead and pop into the notes real quick. The first thing I wrote down was Robin Hood. So, yeah, I like that, Clara wanted to go see Robin Hood, see if he was real. And I like her being immediately saying, like, I know you're going to laugh at me and say it's rubbish, say he doesn't exist. And sure enough, that's what he says. And he's like, oh, well, let's go to Mars. And it's like, hello, So, and then, just proving the Doctor wrong was really fun, too. We got a bit more of, I don't want to say like a happier side to this Doctor, but it was a bit different. It wasn't quite so like, I don't know, I don't want to say like brooding, but I mean kind of. It wasn't quite the darker, quieter demeanor of the past two episodes, Which, I mean, because that's the thing, is that in episode 1, he was really finding himself, but he still had a bit of that, comedic side to him, But last episode was when they went, more for the darker side of him because, we were dealing with the Daleks. So getting back into more of his general personality, not just the complete, dark side of him. I did like that. Although they definitely are keeping up that he's grumpy. He's a grumpy old man, He's a grumpy old man. And it is sort of, I mean, this is really interesting to watch because, at the same time that I'm watching this, I'm also watching classic Doctor Who. We're going through all the classic Doctor Who stuff. The other day I just recorded the first 3 parts of the Keys of Marinus, and yeah, I am seeing a lot of the first Doctor's personality in this one, definitely. It's like the first Doctor's personality, like if it was, but with all the experience that the Doctor has had up to now, So it's not even that it's like, oh, well, he's just grumpy to be grumpy. It's like, no, he's grumpy, but he's also, he's aged, He's aged. He's an older man now, which is interesting. So that was interesting to see, especially in contrast with Robin, who was definitely, more like the previous incarnations of the Doctor that we've had. Especially, I feel like Matt Smith. So that was kind of nice, just sort of comparing him. And, the Doctor getting so mad about, all these, traits that Robin Hood has, but those are traits that he used to have. But to him, he's probably thinking, I moved past this. I'm done. I'm not that anymore. I'm an old man. I'm older. I'm mature now. So, I don't know. It's interesting. I wrote down the spoon. So, he is the Doctor, and this is his spoon, And it's like, so he literally fought with a spoon. He sword fought with a spoon, and he won, actually, which is interesting. Yeah, I did like that he just had a spoon, which I guess, he was just eating ice cream and he kept the spoon with him. I guess that was pretty much it. I don't know. It was kind of funny. Let's see. We had the robots. I was kind of thinking at first, what if these are the Cybermen, Or what if they did the Cybermen like this? But I guess they already kind of did something like that with the next Doctor. That was sort of like that, but I don't know. I do like this, putting robots in, centuries before, where we're normally at. So, I like them. I like their whole story and stuff with the Sheriff of Nottingham as well. So, they were pretty cool. Let's see. Ooh, I wrote down the contest. That That was funny. The classic Robin Hood contest where he splits the arrow in twain with another arrow. But then the Doctor comes in and splits the arrow. And then I love that it's a competition where they just keep splitting the arrows. Like, I thought that was funny. That it wasn't just... At first I was like, oh my gosh, the Doctor just came in and upstaged everyone. But then Robin does it, and then he does it, and then Robin does it again. It's like, oh my gosh, this is dumb. And then he just gives up and, uses the Sonic on it. How on earth the Sonic screwdriver blew up a target, I don't know, but whatever. Not important. So, I thought that was funny. Well, and that's the thing, which is the next thing I wrote down, is competition. Just the outright pissing contest between the two of them was ridiculous, It was so crazy, but it was also really fun. Just watching the two of them and them yelling at each other, them yelling at each other and yelling for the guards. I love that Clara shut them down, too. Honestly, they were kind of behaving like children. And Clara's good at dealing with children. She's a teacher, So I did like that, And again, it's more in the, the Doctor just hating Robin's personality, even though that's the personality he used to have, He used to be that kind of guy. But, now that he's moved past it, he doesn't like seeing it in another person. But, yeah, I do love Clara putting an end to the two of them. And, when it's like, all right, the guard was here to see who was the ringleader of the three of them. And it was like, oh, clearly it's Clara. It's like, yeah, of course it's Clara. So that was funny. I wrote down the ship. That was clever. The fact that this was a ship that disguised itself as an 11th century castle. That was pretty cool. And then the whole thing of, the Sheriff of Nottingham wanting to use the ship in order to kill Prince John and then take over the entire world, basically. That was very clever. I wrote down create an enemy. Yeah, why would they create an enemy, that doesn't make any sense. Now, the whole thing of, well, okay, they created him to pacify, the people, give them the hope, and it's like, yeah, but no, why would they do that? So, it was interesting sort of watching, just watching this whole thing and questioning, is Robin real? Is he, or is he not real? And, ending up is like, he is real, but everyone, in the future thought he was just a legend because he was too crazy, It's like, there's no way a person like this can exist. But he did, even though people don't really believe that. And I love that parallels the Doctor, And, when he starts saying his story, but then he says, and then, stole a TARDIS from Gallifrey and went across the stars, which the Doctor was pissed that Clara told the story, Like, that is not a story she needs to be telling. So, he was pissed about that, but I do like that. I like the parallels between the Doctor and Robin Hood. Honestly, yeah, it's like, yeah, these guys do exist, at least on the show, they do exist, but they are legends. And I like, saying it's like, I'm not a hero, and he says, I'm not a hero either. But if I pretend to be a hero, then maybe other people will be heroes in my name, Like, it will inspire people to become heroes. Which, yeah, the Doctor does do that, It's that is a very interesting idea. It's like, because, yeah, it's like, is he a hero? Well, I don't think he ever set out to be the hero. If you look back at the first Doctor's not a hero. He's just a traveler, The Doctor has always just tried to be a traveler first and foremost, but he ends up accidentally becoming a hero just because he keeps doing the right thing. But that's the thing, is that he inspires other people who become real heroes, So I do like that. Just the parallels between Robin and the Doctor, I think, are really great, and just on multiple levels, just by the personalities, it's like, Robin has the personality of one of the previous Doctors that now the Doctor hates, And then the parallels, it's like, yeah, these two are very similar, actually, when you really look at them. Like, they are legends, but they are real, you know? But the important thing is that they are inspiration. So I really like that. And then the last thing I wrote down was the arrow, the golden arrow. I thought that was really clever too. I thought that was very clever. Where it's like, okay, the ship needs to get out of orbit before it explodes, basically, or else it'll destroy. I think they said half of England. So they have to fire the golden arrow at it, you know. Which is interesting, you know, and you would think like, okay, well, why would they then give up the golden arrow? Or, no, I guess it wasn't the sheriff that was doing the contest. He was in the contest and he was trying to win so he could get the golden arrow. I guess that was it, yeah. And then the fact that it was the three of them that actually fired the arrow, I thought that was really cool, you know, the teamwork. And then just bam, and it's like, all right, we're all good to go. They get up in orbit, and then they explode. So yeah, that was all really cool. I really did enjoy this episode, and I am very curious to get to the next one. So yeah, that is pretty much it. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch more of my Doctor Who reactions, you can click on the playlist, you can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and be sure you hit that notification bell. You can support me on Patreon and follow me on social media, links below in the description. See you guys later.